Greetings, beloved. I'm Dr. Felicia LaBoy, lead pastor and life coach at the historic First United Methodist Church of downtown Elgin, Illinois. Of course, you all know that. I am greeting you this snowy Christmas, I want to say Christmas, but it's not Christmas, snowy January morning to discuss concerns that I know the church has been having with regard to when can we reopen. And of course, it makes sense, right? Restaurants are beginning to open up, bars are beginning to open up, and I'm sure that many folks are saying, what about the church, Pastor Felicia? I want to take a few minutes to address those concerns now. I met with our leadership team, our trustees, some members from Staff Parish, the council, members from finance, and all that last week to discuss when we would be reopening our church. And there are basically two issues that are of primary concern. The first concern, most of all, is for the health and well-being of those who join us on Sunday morning. We know that when we reopened back in the summertime, we had an extensive protocol with hand sanitizer, social distancing, masks, and all of that. It was quite an extensive endeavor. And then we were right back out of our congregation. Because we want to ensure that everyone is safe, and because we are under the authority and leadership of the bishop of the Northern Illinois Conference, the leadership team made the decision that we didn't want to enter into the sanctuary and come right back out, but we wanted to re-enter and celebrate that and re-enter into our sanctuary once and for all. Right now, the current guidelines are that we can have 25 people in our sanctuary. Well, beloved, what most of you do not understand is that it takes 12 people currently to make our Sunday morning happen. That includes people in the radio booth and the sound team, and also because since we've been online, there are now 4 or 5 cameras set up and singers and all kinds of stuff. This is quite the production on Sunday morning. Now, I'm sure some of you will say, well, Pastor Felicia, we don't need all that, which brings me to my second concern. The primary focus and mission of the church is to make disciples of Jesus Christ for the transformation of the world. Did you hear that? To make disciples of Jesus Christ for the transformation of the world. And one thing that this pandemic has taught us is that we, through social media, whether that's YouTube, our Facebook Live channel, our Instagram channels, are able to reach more people for Jesus Christ than we do on any other Sunday morning. We have loads more people that join us on our Facebook page, that go back and look at our YouTube services, than darken our doors on Sunday morning. And if we're honest, we have to talk about the fact that the truth of the matter is, maybe not our church, but the overall perception of Christianity these days is that it's a black eye, that there's a place that's unwelcoming and not friendly. I'm not saying that's who we are. I'm saying that that's the perception of who we are. And not only that, many people have lots of activities going on a Sunday morning. They take their kids to practice. They are working from home on Sunday. They are doing all kinds of things at the hour that used to be our church hour, anywhere from 9 to 11 a.m. And so what we know and what we've learned, like many other churches, is that where we may have thought this Facebook Live or putting a sermon or a series on YouTube was a temporary fix until we got back to normal, the truth of the matter is that this is the new normal. We discussed last week what it will mean to be a church that has, in essence, 3 congregations. One that joins us face to face, one that joins us on our radio station, and one now that joins us online. And how do we meet the needs of those various constituencies? And so, beloved, all the equipment, the setup, and all of those other things is now a lot more extensive so that we can bring a higher quality of music and everything to our congregation, and presentation to our congregation, has required more staff, more equipment, and hence has hindered that 25 threshold. Right now, our worship folks and the AV ministry team. That's all the sound people, the audiovisual people, the tech people, all of that. We are working diligently because our expectation is that we will be able to enter into our church. We're hoping for sometime in February. We think that by the time we get to tier 4, it might be sometime in March. Trust me, we are not dragging our feet. I, more than anyone in this congregation, am anxious to be back with you all because I've never had the opportunity really to be present with everyone fully in the first place. I know that this is frustrating. I know that we want to get together and celebrate and be in our worship space and sing praises to our God together. But again, we want to, as a congregation, make sure that everyone is safe. And we also want to make sure that we are doing everything that we can, not to get church members, but to win people for Jesus Christ, to make disciples of Jesus Christ, to introduce people to the life-saving message, to the soul-saving message of Jesus Christ. That is the function and the mission of the church. And so we ask for your patience as we navigate what does it mean to be a church in 3 locations, face-to-face, online, on the radio. How will we reach people who are saying, after all that they've seen over the past year and over the past month, I'm not sure I want anything to do with the church? We've been getting a lot more requests from the community about, are there ways that we can partner and be in ministry with them? And so we are trying to figure all of that out. And we want to do so in a way that keeps you safe. So I thank you for your patience. If you have any ideas at all about how we can move forward, again, I remind you that we are under the instruction and leadership of the bishop. And so we won't be released to open up for at least 50 people or more, regardless of what every other church in Elgin might be doing. We won't be able to open up until we have the clear mandate that we can do that. And as I said before, right now it takes about 11 or 12 people to make worship happen currently. That means we could only let in 10 people a week. We want to do better than that. We want to allow as many people as possible to be in our church so that we can celebrate together as a family. I promise to keep you updated weekly about where we are, and I hope that you will join with me that this time for us all to be together won't be a long time in coming, but that the vaccines and all that get out so that we can keep everyone safe and that we can open up our church, and that all the people that we've been ministering to via online, via the radio, and face-to-face, that we'll have a chance to bring the entire First UMC Elgin church family together. Thank you so much, and God bless.